Hello, welcome back to Going Walkabout. Let's go and explore. Today's the day that I'll show you my advantage in the Explore screen. A new Explore screen has been on my wish list already for a long time. For those that have been following my Flutter episodes know that in the Flutter version I already did it a while back. Today I use SwiftUI to rebuild my Explore screen. It's part of my strategy to move from UIKit to SwiftUI, so one screen at a time. Let me show you what I've built first and then I'll explain how I actually did it. It's actually quite simple, but let's show you and then we can see where we are. Now here we see the simulator running with trips and it's all about this Explore screen. And the Explore screen now shows it categorized per continent. I only have a few here in my test version, and once I have some featured trips I can move them around, and of course I can also zoom into one of the trips and show you the details as you can see here, and go back and go through the whole application as it is. So instead of just a boring list of featured trips, now I've categorized it by continent and I've done some horizontal scrolling. Let's go and dive into the code what I did. Now, of course, the very first thing I needed to do is to create an Explore view and an Explore view model. As you know, I always combine the two. The view for the layout, the view model for the underlying business logic, the data that drives the view. So in the view, it is very simple. I need a scroll view. I need a for each to go through my view model's data. And the data is actually structured per continent. So let's look at the data first, because then you will be able to understand it a little bit easier. The Explore view model, when we refresh the model, I check if it's already done. It's not. I get my featured trips, and then for each trip, for each continent in the trip, because a trip can go over multiple continents and then I need to show it in two different places, I just build up a list with Explore continent objects, and those Explore continent objects is a code, a name and a list of trips. So what I actually do here is I go through all the trips and then I categorize them by continent. And when I have this categorized by continent, I have my published property, what are my Explore continents. Now in my view here, I can go for each my Explore continents, for each continent. Now I write a horizontal stack here to do the title, and then the spacer. I do another scroll view with horizontal scrolling. I use this also in the new post editor, where I showed a list of photos at the bottom that you could scroll horizontally through. It's done before, it's very simple. And inside that I put a stack with the spacer, and if you always start with the spacer, you get this nice effect that you can see what is actually the first one, see? Because this one is moving, but still, it's because the spacer starts from the edge, and it looks like we have padding, but it's not. So if you start scrolling, it's using the full screen, and also at the end, you can better see that there's more to come. So start with the spacer, I go through the different trips. For each, I use my trip card that I already built for the user profile. Is the same as you see here, is this card. So I could reuse that card again, and then I go through and then I do a divider that is here, and then the next continent. So it's really simple. Once you have the correct data, it's just easy, straightforward rendering. Now that's what I did. It's on appear. I refresh, and that's all there is to it. So it's simple, it's straightforward, and it works. Now the only thing I needed to do is to make sure that this only works for those that use iOS 14 and up, is to do the same as I did in my iPad episodes. So here in my tabs view model, and you can still see that the old one is there. Return the old Explore view controller. Instead of that, I now have my hosting controller using embedding my Explore view to make it suitable for UIKit. And because on the iPad the tabs in compact mode on the phone or compact mode on an iPad are rendered from this view model, and also the sidebar in the iPad is rendered from that view model, that's all I needed to do. And since this is based on my split viewer architecture for the iPad, and that only runs in iOS 14, so I didn't have to take care to do anything else for making sure that this is available for those users in iOS 14 and up. So it's simple, it's a new view. I'm happy with the layout. It's much better than it was before. So yes, I will also introduce this soon in the app on the App Store. But maybe I'll do a little bit more tweaks before that. And it shows that I'm migrating everything slowly to SwiftUI. I hope you liked this episode. If you like it, please like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, subscribe anyway, because the next one might be better for you. I'll thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.